Okay, so hi, I'm Kizzy and I'm the community agent for East Mendip. Morning, Trace. And I did the very first Mendip live last week. I haven't managed to coax my team into doing them yet. I might be able to next week, hopefully. So this week I'm going to be talking about, sorry if you can hear my husband, I think the dog's going missing. We're going to be talking about families' well-being and keeping safe at the moment, really, and what to do with the kids. Hopefully that answers your question, Carolyn. So, hope everyone's keeping well at the moment and enjoying our lovely sunshine. So the aim of the cafe is to put comments into the comment section, but please don't put any personal details in there, such as your address or phone number or anything like that, really. And hopefully I'll be able to answer them. If not, there are lots and lots of our agents watching who probably know more than I do. Well, they definitely know more than I do, so we'll be able to help you. I've got my trusty PowerPoint presentation in front of me as well, because I forget what I need to say. So I've said already that the theme for this week is family well-being, and I'm going to make sure that my husband's got the dog in. So when lockdown first happened, I think everybody went into panic mode, didn't they, about having to homeschool the kids. Well, I did anyway. Homeschool, work from home, and do, you know, all your other chores and whatnot that you need to get through. So I was going to share some of the things that we've been doing, really, to help. I've got a 4 and 7-year-old. You probably saw them if you watched last week. So it has been quite difficult because their ages are so different. Nala is in preschool. She'll be going to primary hopefully in September, and Darcy's in year 2. So when you've only got sort of one parent that's trying to homeschool and work, it's quite difficult to be able to divide your time between each child, and you know, the curriculum is very different, and to keep them both interested is really, really hard. And I'm going to be honest, I'm not very, very good at it at all. Lee is better, but he's gone back to work now, although he does take a Wednesday off, so I can do this with uninterruptions. So initially, Lee really went into Mr. Marshall mode, and you know, wanted the girls to sit down and be able to, you know, sit there for 6 hours a day and learn about all sorts of things. And he was good at it, but it is a big ask. You know, Nala doesn't do that at preschool. They play, they learn through play, and Darcy, she likes what she likes, and you know, she likes science. She's not keen on writing. She does like reading, so it's been quite difficult. So the first day, it was Joe Wicks all the way, and PE was at 9 or 9:30, and after the first week that wasn't good for us. The girls didn't like doing the PE, but they did like to do dance classes on YouTube. So just silly, some of them were cartoons, and they preferred it. They found it easier, and it meant that they were moving a bit more and whatnot. And then after the first week, it was really hard to get them to sit and do the home learning pack that the school had sent. So we decided, we had a chat, and we'd also had an email from the headmaster to say, you know, we don't expect you to sit there and teach your children for 6 hours a day. So we kind of relaxed it a little bit, and the weather got a bit nicer, and we are really fortunate where we live. We have a big garden, so we were able to start a little veggie plot, and Lee got the girls to pick out some of the vegetables that they wanted to grow, and they have enjoyed doing that. And now Lee has to do the watering of them all. But you know, once they start to grow and things, they'll get a bit more interested again, I think. Lee made like this teepee out of bamboo sticks, and he's planted runner beans, so hopefully when they grow, the birds have already eaten the first lot of runner beans, so we had to do it all again. They'll be able to go inside the teepee and pick the runner beans, hopefully. So that was something that they enjoyed doing. They had a Wendy house that it was actually at their grandparents' house, but they decided that we could have it because they wouldn't be able to go and visit their grandparents for a while, and that's been really good. They have little sleepovers in there, and they've got a little kitchen in there, and they like playing, so it's just a little bit of a area that they can play outside the home and give me peace and quiet. So the other thing that we have as well, or we've just released them, is my mother-in-law really kindly bought the girls the butterfly hatching kits, which you can get on Amazon, and you have them as caterpillars, and then you watch them turn into chrysalis, and then eventually they turn into butterflies, and you can release them into the wild. And we did that twice. It was really good. Both me, the girls, and Lee really enjoyed doing that, so I definitely recommend that if you can. It was quite Darcy's teacher will ring sort of every week, and I had a conversation with her recently and said, you know, I find it really difficult to get Darcy to do any schoolwork because she doesn't associate home with the school environment, and it's been really, really difficult. Darcy is a bit of a stickler for routine, and you know, things being as they were, a change is difficult for her to cope with, really, as it is most people. But for Darcy, she likes to go to school and socialise, and that is, you know, what, you know, learning environment. But at home, it's where she relaxes, and it's been difficult to try and get her to share her home environment with learning as well. So we've had to think of different ways to encourage her. She's really into science at the moment. This morning, last week, Lee and her filled up a rubber glove with flour and put lolly sticks in each finger, and the other hand they filled up a rubber glove without the lolly sticks, and it was to show what it's like to have bones, what it means to have bones, and the other one was obviously if you didn't have bones, so it was really floppy, so she really enjoyed that. And this morning they put a piece of bread into a sandwich bag and put some vinegar in there, and it was to show what happens when the food hits your stomach and it all disintegrates. Sorry if you're all eating watching this. And she really does enjoy that, but it's very hard to do those sort of experiments when you're trying to work as well. So I think it's important to recognise that you can only do your best in this situation. You know, we make the most of evenings and weekends and the day that Lee gets off with them, and then the rest of the time I feel really guilty. And Friday, for example, I was really busy, and at the end of the day I'd said to the girls, I'm so sorry for being shouty mummy today and grumpy mummy today, do you forgive me? And they said, can you move out of the way of the TV, please? So I worry, but I don't think they worry as much as what I think they do. But I thought it was only fair that I apologise for being horrible mummy Friday. The other thing that we've been doing as well, the school that Darcy goes to, they have houses, and they're named after trees. So each house you win tokens for your team, and then they get rewarded at the end of the term with a mufti day or sweets or something. So we decided that to try and encourage Darcy to do some schoolwork at home, we'd introduce the same reward thing. So instead of it being Templecombe tokens, the cottage we live in is called Westwood, so we have Westwood tokens, and you win them for perseverance, respect, love. There's one more, I can't remember at the moment, and that worked for a while. I mean, we have got a bit lax on it now, but it was good, and particularly for Nala as well, because you know she's going to go up to primary school, so it's good to introduce her to that at the moment. So yeah, I've talked about some of the things that we've been doing, and Lee took the girls on bike rides as well. Unfortunately, my bike is broken, which is a real shame. And I've had loads of offers from my friends to borrow their bikes. I'm like, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. And then so we will take them for bike rides and things, and they enjoy that. Yeah, so the other thing as well is because Darcy is so sociable, and she really, really does miss her friends. She's got a big social group, and she's pretty much friends with everybody really, and she will talk to anybody. And so having that social interaction and not having it has been really, really sad for her. So we decided, and it isn't for everybody, the girls, they both have Amazon Fire tablets, and so we decided that I'm a bit fed up of having to give my phone to the girls all the time so they can video message their friends. So anyway, we decided that we would put an app on their Amazon Fire tablets, which is called Just Talk Kids. So it's JUS Talk Kids, and it's free to download in the App Store, and it's obviously a parent controlled app. I think it's really safe. You can only add you need a code to access it, so every time that she needs to access it, we need to put the code in, and if they add friends, we need to okay that, so the code needs to go in again, and not just us. So if Darcy wants to add her friend, that friend's parents needs to okay the code as well, and say it's fine for them to talk. So we found that really, really helpful, and they can also text one another if they're not online as well. And so she's really, really enjoyed that. I mean, she has been a bit of a nightmare at times with it. She texts her nanny all of the time, and if her nanny doesn't reply immediately, she'll ring her and be like, why didn't you reply? And she's like, I'm just doing it. So she can be a bit obsessive with it, so it's really important that we do keep an eye on her with it. But it has been a little bit of a godsend, I must admit, because I was getting so annoyed with having to give her my phone all the time to talk to people. I wanted her to keep in touch with her friends, but I also wanted my mobile phone back. But I would recommend this app. I think it's quite safe, and if you a lot of people are against fire tablets and things like that, that's fine, but that's just a recommendation that I think has been good. So yes, I'm just gonna have a look, see what people are saying. I don't know how you Kizzy, did you see about the vending machine on BBC this morning? A mum of 4 has installed it in her kitchen so the kids can earn sweet treats. That's a really good idea. I didn't see it, but that is a good idea. Okay, so Somerset Children and Young People Health and Wellbeing. That I looked at that. I hadn't heard of that website, but I looked on it today. So it's Hannah will put the link in the comments because it's a bit of a mouthful. I found it a really, really good website. It's got loads of helpful advice for all areas of development, from pregnancy and birth and preschool right up to teenagers. It's really, really good. Definitely recommend having a look at that. And they've also got Little Lullaby, which is for young parents, and it's run by young parents, so you can chat and share your stories and things like that, and get helpful advice. also looked into financial support at the moment because, you know, it's helpful. And I know there's a lot of financial support available at the moment, but I just picked out some of the ones that I didn't necessarily know about, and I thought it would be a good idea to try and highlight them in case you didn't. So it's if you're expecting a baby, twins or triplets or more, you can be entitled to a Sure Start maternity grant, which all the details are on the Gov website, and the grant is for £500 for a single pregnancy and £1,000 I think for multiple. But you do have to have certain benefits so to be entitled to it, and I think it's only available if it's your first child. So definitely go and have a look on that and see if you could be entitled to it, because it's worth doing. You know, put it towards a pram, whatever. It's really, really good. Also, universal credit. I mean, most people do know about universal credit, but you might not necessarily know that because your financial circumstances have changed, you could be entitled to it when you haven't been before. So it's definitely worth going online and looking at the benefit calculator to see what you could be entitled to. It doesn't take all that long to pop in your details. And also, if you're in Mendip, you could be entitled towards paying your council tax. Now, I did look into it this morning, and it does look as though you have to be working, a working age anyway, it says. So definitely go, and it's a one-off grant, but it's for about £150 I think, so off your total bill. So that's definitely worth looking into. That's at www.mendip.gov.uk/council tax support. And also another one that I saw today, if you were unable to get the government grant for your business because of COVID-19, then you could be entitled to a local authority discretionary grant in South Somerset. So that's at www.southsomerset.gov.uk. So if you do have a business that you can't run at the moment, then definitely look into that, because I think it started from yesterday. And oh yeah, Hannah's put in the links for those. And also, if your children are snacking like there's no tomorrow, like mine, it's unreal. I definitely will consider that vending machine thing. I also saw like snack boxes that people were put for the day, so that they could only have this much per day, which would be good. But it's a nightmare. Anyway, you could be entitled to the Healthy Start vouchers. Again, you have to be claiming some benefits for that, but the list of benefits is quite long, so definitely go online and have a look at that. And if you qualify if you're at least 10 weeks pregnant or have children under the age of 4. That's healthystart.nhs.uk, and the vouchers they enable you to buy plain, frozen or fresh fruit and vegetables, either and milk, and also from birth, cow's milk, infant formula. They're very specific about that. So yeah, have a look on there. And helpfully as well, they've put on there, if you're struggling to get infant formula because of COVID-19 and the shops are not stocking up enough, not that they're not stocking up enough, but people have gone a bit mental and started to buy a lot of it, haven't they? If you can use these vouchers to buy the infant formula online at Kendamil, which is a UK-based supplier of infant formula, which is worth knowing, even if you're not going to get these Healthy Start vouchers. If you have a baby that's on infant formula and you can't get their formula at the moment, go on the Kendamil website and see what they can do for you. And if you're really struggling at the moment and you can't afford to buy food, you can refer yourself on our website at ccslovesomerset.org, and you can fill in the COVID response form there, and we can arrange for a food parcel for you. So there is lots of help there. You know, please don't be too proud if you're struggling. The help is there for you. Going on to online learning, the DWP have also introduced a temporary universal credit increase due to COVID-19. It's a very useful amount which should help. Oh, thanks, Carolyn. Yeah, that's helpful to know. So yeah, going on to online learning for children, you've got BBC Bitesize. I haven't used it, so I can't recommend it really, but I know it's there. And you've got the CBeebies one I have used for Nala. It's got alpha blocks on there, and the reading, story times and stuff. I do think I can recommend the CBeebies one, and I'm sure BBC Bitesize is just as good. And also remember to call your school. They're really helpful. They know that we're struggling. They know that we're not teachers, unless you are a teacher. So ring them for advice, and they are reassuring, and they come up with helpful advice. Darcy's school teacher has been reading a book online, and she's posted it on YouTube, so she recommended Darcy go and have a little listen to that. And don't stress, we're all doing our best, aren't we, at these crazy times. And remember, if you're not shielding, time outside is fresh air, walking, bike riding is just as important as sitting inside and learning for our children. And obviously keeping the 2 metre distance rules. Hi Lucy. Has anyone got any more questions? Because I'm running out of slides. I'm through to my final slide now, which I think people might think it's quite obvious, but at the moment it's really important that we avoid unnecessarily taking our children to A&E for obvious reasons. Obviously, if you need to take your children to A&E, then do so, but there are things we can do to prevent things like sunburn and dehydration. So the warmer weather's coming now, and it does seem obvious, but I think it's worth reminding people to, be extra careful, and protect ourselves and our children when they're out in the sun. So it's really important to stay hydrated. So taking the water bottles with you, because it's you can't rely on shops and things at the moment, or water fountains or anything like that. So it's really important to take water with you, and things like ice lollies and jelly are equally as hydrating. Obviously water is the best thing, but if I know I'm mainly talking about families at the moment, but I used to look after the elderly, and I know it is quite difficult to get an elderly person to drink when the weather is warm. So ice lollies and jelly are a really good way to get them rehydrated. And you can also make healthy alternatives to those. We've made smoothie lollies and things like that, and that sometimes they're a bit cheaper as well, and fun for the kids. Oh, and freezing watermelon triangles as well, sticking a lolly stick in. That's good for them. Wear sun cream. Look out for the UVA stars. That's important, so they have the stars on them, because it doesn't give full protection. And also look for the UVB and UVC, and it needs to be a high SPF factor 50, I would say, and make sure it's suitable for your children, so it's sensitive for them, because you don't want to give them a reaction. And make sure it's waterproof as well, so that when they go in their paddling pools or whatever, they're still as safe. wear their sun hats. Oh, cucumber is really good for water intake too. Yeah, it is. Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, wearing sun hats and staying in the shade as much as possible when you're out walking, you know, stopping under a tree just to give yourself some shade for a minute, and gazebos and things like that for your garden. And most importantly, enjoy it. Enjoy the sunshine. Oh, Deb is the Centre for Sustainable Energy, and she's here to help those that are struggling to pay their energy bills and finding this time difficult on their finances. Please get in touch with Deb. So she's in the comments. So yeah, Carolyn said universal credit standard allowances for single person 25 or over, and has increased temporarily from the 6th of the 4th from £317.82 to £409.89 per month for a couple, and £509.94 extra two for each child. So that is something to look into as well. So last week, if you watched my live, we really we had some really exciting news, and our guinea pig had 7 babies, and which they proved quite popular. And so I was going to spend you know, the next 5 minutes just basically, I was going to show you how they're getting on. Really, they're doing really well, and they're so cute. So I'll take you outside now if anybody's interested. Hello, we come to see the guinea pigs. I hope they don't cut out because it's quite far from the house. They're just getting some sun. Hello. Where's my Snowdrop? She's my favourite. I say she. Oh, careful, Des. That's my favourite. She's the only one that looks different to all the other ones, and I'm hoping it's a girl so we can keep her because we have too many boys. But she's so cute. And this is Nala eating an ice cream. You gonna say hello?
Hello.
So it would be a good time to say my goodbyes to everyone, and thank you so much for tuning in and watching me.
I'm watching Pokemon.
Waffle on for the last half an hour.
One round.
Bye everyone.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
I don't know how to end it.